What is going down, my YouTube family? It is your boy Zary, and it is Tuesday morning, and we got some big news. We got the okay to show the Battleground test server. And as you saw in the beginning of this video, you need to keep in mind everything in here is subject to change. Rewards, setup, everything. And what you're going to see is you are going to see a recorded battle that I did, and I'm going to talk through it. This way, because the test server set up a little bit differently, you know, they don't want us to take 3 days to do a battle because we got to test it for them. So it is 15 minutes, an hour. And this way I can jump ahead, I can pause, I can talk about stuff. And my buddy Bones88 was kind enough to jump on with me. And he put out a video last night about it, and I'm going to put out my thoughts and feelings on it. But if you're just finding me for the first time, click that subscribe button, turn on notifications, like the videos, share them, all that good stuff. XMG family, you know I love you. This one's going to be a little bit longer. I'm going to try to make it as fast as I can. Let's get into the new Battlegrounds. Alright, so the new Battlegrounds. If you are familiar with Grand Arena from Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, this is it, essentially. But they put some twists on it, and as you can see here, as of right now, I'm in bronze. So if you finish bronze season 1, you get 3,000 battleground currency, 50 draw coins, 500k gold, some keys, and then a chest. And for winning each battle, you get 200. So the way that this is going to work, okay, is right now there's going to be a day in between each phase. Now there's been some discussion on the test server that, alright, let's try maybe make it 18 hours. Let's try to make it 20 hours, but for right now, it is going to be 24 hours. For us, it's, like I said, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, so we can get into it, we can battle it. Now, part of what we've talked about on the test server, I'm not going to get into a lot of that because they're testing stuff, they're changing, they're making some tweaks. But I'm going to try to make you understand how we do the battles and how we do our process. So that's that. Now, rewards, obviously we want more rewards, but you kind of get rewards when you fight. The battleground currency is still kind of low. We've talked about that, but again, subject to change. And as you move up into silver, you get more, which you'll see here in a minute. So up on top here, we have the battle league that you're in, so you can see your status. Like as of right now, I believe this is what you get for as you progress. Now, obviously, if you finish 1 in the world, that's what you would get. 550 for winning. You know, and as you go down, 450, etc. Then I went to silver, I believe, so you can see silver, 250 for winning. So, and it took me 2 battles to get into silver, so it's not too bad. Shows you your history. That's not up and running. This is my league, and then my overall rating of where I'm at. So, that is this. When you go into register, that's what you can look at, because there's going to be a registration phase, setup phase, battle phase. So I jumped ahead, and here is what the registration phase is going to look like. They do it every 2 hours or 3 hours on the test server. It's just rotating. So me and Bones, we queued, and once this clicks down to 1, you're going to see the registration phase. We have 15 minutes to register. That's all you have to do. You're registered. You don't have to put anything. So when they announce that Battlegrounds is coming, you click you're registered and you're good. So I'm going to skip ahead again and we're going to look at some stuff. Okay, so the next phase would be set your defenses. Now there's something you need to understand, and it's something that I wasn't a fan of. But as I've played more and more, I've become more of a fan of it. In this mode, they are going to allow you to use teams you set on defense for offense. Pump the brakes. Don't get pissed about this. People are going to say, well, it's going to be unfair advantage. And it's not. That from what we've tested, and the reason for that is they want to let everybody enjoy this mode. There isn't enough characters in the game to thoroughly enjoy this mode. Because as you see when we get in and you set your defenses, you're not going to have any teams left for offense. So what this does is it allows you to enjoy the game mode. Now you can only use them once on defense, once on offense. Emerald Dragon, Lizard Breath, they have said once more characters are brought into the game, this is something that's most likely going to change. That you're only going to be able to set one defense, one offense. Now, they want people to enjoy the game mode. They want people to get comfortable with the game mode. And I was like, well, it's not forcing everybody to use their whole roster. But as you see, you are. And we're going to get into that, and you're going to see it, but I want to get that out of the way. So before anybody freaks out about it, make sure you watch this and you understand, because it's been debated on the test server. They're not going to change it right now, and it does make sense. I was against it at first, but the more I've tested, the more I've played this mode, it makes more and more sense. So we have 15 minutes here to set our defenses. So you click your set defenses and it loads the battle. Now this is the first screen. You're going to see Battleground Rules. Capture an area of locations by fighting battles. Capture all areas and locations to get control of it. Captured locations earn you points towards battleground victories. Earn blank points and defeat your enemy. Now it isn't whoever gets the most points first wins. That is now gone. It is your opponent has their time and you have your time. Whoever scores the most points all the way through wins. Okay? So it's not an instant gratification like the other one. This is something you're going to have to wait and watch. And the RNG of connections and all of that stuff is just taken out of the equation. So as we continue, this is your setup phase. Okay? You have your orcs, your humans, your elves, and I forget the other one. But again, those don't matter. Now, there has been discussion. Again, they want people to learn this, get comfortable with it. But there's been some discussion about, okay, if you put this team on defense, you get bonus points. This certain group has more attack power. To try to change it up, because after a while this mode's going to get stale just like everything else, and there's ways to tweak it. But to start, there is nothing like that, and I am okay with it. I was actually an advocate for there not to be, in all honesty, when the discussions were going on. People wanted bonuses, but I feel it's super important. People aren't familiar with Grand Arena. To get familiar with this game mode, to understand this game mode before you jump into it, before we just start throwing crazy things. We don't want people to get frustrated and turned off by this game mode because, let's just say, Garrett gets a bump. Well, I don't have Garrett. Oh, that's not fun. I don't want that. We don't want that right away. We want people to be familiar with this. We want it to be fun. So I was an advocate for that, and you can debate me on that fact all day, and I will tell you it's not the way to do it. That's how strongly I feel about it. So, but over time, I do want to see that implemented. I did play Grand Arena, and they made like Jedis had certain buffs this one, or you know, the Sith had more crit rate, stuff like that. And it was little tweaks that made it super fun and enjoyable. They did a 3v3 instead of 5v5. All that stuff can be implemented. This mode, you have to understand, in its test phase, subject to change, is new. There's endless possibilities we can do with this, but if we start throwing out wrinkles right away, and I keep saying they start throwing out wrinkles right away, it's going to turn people off. We can't have that, okay? So that's that. That's my rant on that, I guess. So as you can see, you go in, just like before, you set your defense, but now there's no rush. You're not in a rush to fight and set a defense. You can plan. And here, as you can see, if I could click the right buttons as I did this, I put in a defense. I'm going to put in the Garrett Demon Comp, and you're not going to be able to see what your opponent sets until you attack, and we're going to go over that. So you set your defense, and you get points here. As you can see, up top, you get points, 75 points for setting your defense. You're already getting defense. So then I just put in a random pride team, my Hera Renara pride team. Then I put in a goblin team, and I think I put an Orzira led team here. Yeah. I don't know. I think I put in Mar. Yeah. So there, I have 300 points for setting a defensive team. Now you can see what your defensive teams are set here by the little shield you see there. This little shield that they have means you have a defense. Pretty easy, right? So then we go through, and I'm just kind of jumping ahead here, and I'm setting up my last defensive squads. So I jumped ahead, setting up my last defensive squads, just putting in a Thalane-led elf team. And we weren't doing this competitively. We were just setting up teams so we could show you guys. I mean, Bones ends up winning this. We pretty much just fought to a certain point and stopped and let the time run out so we could make the videos. That's why I love Bones. We talk about it. And we're actually going to try to live stream one of these together so you can see the whole interaction. And that date will come. So right there, I'm going to pause it. You can see where your squads that are in defense. So you can't, like I was saying earlier, you can't select a character that's already put on defense. So it's one defense, one offense. And I'm going to show you something here as I set this last one up. I think I just put in Eric Shieldbreaker and call it a day. But as you can see, I have every character maxed out and to form solid squads all the way through. You're still going to have some mishmash squads. So this is why they decided to go the route they did. So again, I agree with that decision the more and more I play it. So all of my squads are now set up. They all have the shield there. But let's just say a new character comes out and you've unlocked them and you're like, I want to put them on my defense before the battle starts, okay? Or you've clicked the wrong button and you hit complete. That's probably a better way to put it, because I'm not quite sure if rosters lock once defensive phase starts. So you do that, right? And here, like I said, you can't see. If you go back to that, this is what I was referring to. You can't see what your opponent set until the attack phase appears. So your strategy is your strategy. Nobody can game plan until the attack phase starts. But like I was saying, let's say you screw up, right? You can go in, but if you go into your defense, you can switch somebody out. So if you screw up, it's not set in stone until that attack phase begins. So I'm going to jump ahead here because I'm just waiting about 7 minutes for the timer to run out, and we'll get into the attack phase. Now there's going to be some times in some battles that you're going to see I was typing to Bones. My daughter was watching the Steelers game, or her team, and I didn't want to have that in the background, so we were just typing to each other. There's a couple times I had a couple other people message me on Discord, so a couple times the battles will stop in the middle, and we'll kind of blow through those. But now they're starting the battle phase. It's just syncing everything together, and the battle is about to begin. It's going to load. You're going to attack. Now, in the test server, we have an hour. You do not have an hour. You will have at least 20 plus hours to make your attack, so you can do it at your leisure. So here, we're going to back it up. Now, look, you cannot see your opponent's back row until you've defeated your whole front row island. So to see the top back row, you need to defeat the top front row. To see the bottom back row, you need to defeat the top or the bottom front row. You know what I mean? So it's I kind of like that aspect. You can't see what they have behind you. They had that in Grand Arena. So we are going to continue. And I'm just looking to see what Bones set up. You know, everybody's solid, but he's got some goblin teams. You can click on your opponent's characters that they are using. You can see their stats. You can see their runes. You can see where they have their abilities. So it is not a secret. You can keep it where you can see everything, so you can strategize. If the General Murdoch's too fast to do a mirror match, don't use it. But it gives you that opportunity. It's a really good idea. I like how you can do that. It's super cool. So here I'm going to go into an attack, and the attack just works like an arena. It works just like the previous Battlegrounds, right? You select your squad you want to take in, and you use them. So against the elf squad, I'm just going to take in the demon and Garrick team, just so I can use them, because I love that team. But in a real battleground, I wouldn't use this versus an elf team, because it's too powerful. I would save it, probably for his demon team. But for this video, didn't matter, right? So your battle loads, and off we go. So if it wants to load, there it is. Okay, we have our nice little cool presentation. Everything looks good, and I just slaughtered this team, but kind of sucks. I got my dispel arrow right off the beginning, so meh. But you can just see how well this team just shreds. It's so good. Now there's some aspects which we're going to go over when this battle ends for win conditions and gaining maximum points, and I purposely left the score where it was when we decided to sit this, just so you could see how playing strategically really is going to make a difference. Look at that. Neuters the invisible teams. So, you know, you just play your match. That's it. Got another dispel, but I had nothing to dispel. I should have kept my taunt up there throughout this match, but I really wasn't thinking about it, because you'll see I lost some shield, which cost me some points. So we achieved victory, right? Now it is going to show you your win conditions. For capturing the location, I got 12 points. Winning on my first try, I got 25 points. Surviving hero bonus, 1 per surviving hero. Heroes at full health. Heroes at full shield. Okay? So, again, subject to change. All this is subject to change. But you can see why playing strategically for every battle costs you points. I end up losing by like 3 points. And if I would have taunted more with Kiri so that he wasn't chipping away shield at other people, I could have possibly got those 3 points back. So we're going to jump ahead into a battle where I get defeated so you can see how that works. Now here is a battle where I took the orcs in. I didn't get defeated, but I lost some characters, so you can see how the scoring is reflected there. So capturing the location stays the same. First win bonus was the same, but I lost the hero, so I only got 4 points, but I only had 3 heroes at full health. So, and then I got the full capture bonus, okay? Which means I took out that whole node so I can see what's behind me. So we're gonna check that out. Also, you can see you get 100,000 gold per win. So that's a lot of gold. I like how they put that in there. That's nice. That'll help. So we've completely taken out that location. I've captured humans. Bones captured orcs. You can see up here in the top corner how that works. Right now I have a lead over Bones, but Bones was talking through this as he was doing it. So he wasn't as speedy as me, but that's the whole point of this. Connections don't matter. You take your time at your pace. You don't fight it when you're at work. You don't fight it when your kids are up. You have your own time, your own leisure, your own pace to do this. One thing I did wish they showed, which they put, you can't see if they've won on defense or how many times they've won. So that's feedback, I'll give it to them. But as you can see here, you can now see, I can see what's behind. I've cleared this out, now I have a chance to attack that. So if you don't clear these 2 waves, you don't ever get to see what's behind you. And I like that. I think it's good. Doesn't let you pick off the easiest teams first, so you don't waste your good teams because you don't know what they have behind you. I mean, you can probably guess because there's a limited number of teams, but for the most part, not too bad. So behind, he has a human team and a panda team. Now we're going to go in and we are going to fight his human team. And I put in my panda team so I could lose on purpose. Here we go. Put in a lake-led panda team, and I knew I was going to lose. But you can just see how bad it's going to be. Day 0 right off the bat. Kind of jump out of here. Yeah, I see. I just get slaughtered. That's fine. That's what I was testing out so I could show you all. And down goes Patriarchy. Now we've defeated. I don't get any points because we lost. Right? Now his team's health on his characters go forward. As you can see right here, the damage I've done to them carries forward. Okay? So it's not like they refresh at full health and shield. This does allow you to chip away at them. So here is the end screen. I went back in with my human team, mirror matched them, and I won except for Garrett. So for capturing this location, I got 12 points because it took me a couple battles. I only had 3 surviving heroes, and then bonus for full capture points because I took out that whole node. But as you can see, I didn't get the first time completion bonus, so it really set me behind on some points. So as it loads back out, you're going to see how it goes here. And that's where I'm at now. So I'm just going to jump way ahead in the video till the end, and I'll be right back. Alright, so we have 51 seconds left. As you can see, Bones has a 7-point advantage over me. And we've cleared the same amount of notes. That's because Bones had more people at full health. He had more people at full shield, possibly. That's how win conditions are going to go down, and I really like that because it makes you strategize more. Are you going to put healers in to make sure you get that full bonus? Are you only going to take in a couple different characters? So there's all sorts of things that can give you an advantage over your opponent, and it's based on the strength of your roster. Matchmaking is going to be key. Fortunately, we cannot see how matchmaking works in this because everybody's got a stacked roster. So sadly, that sucks. But for the most part, that's how it's going to be. And I like it. So there it is. My progress. I've been promoted to silver. Okay. So here is what you see. I lost. Captured locations. You can see where he got me. Heroes at full health bonus. He got 4 extra points. So now he had 7. And then full shield, he got his other 3. So you can see that's where he beat me. So it lets you plan for your next victory, opponent, whatever you want to call it. Then you get your chest. So I got 100 Battlegrounds, some currency, and some keys. And that's what you can get from your Battleground chest, is you can get some artifacts, and then there's one where you can only get a certain artifact, your Battleground exclusive artifacts. So my YouTube family, there is the new Battlegrounds as in beta. Again, I can't say this enough. Everything is subject to change. And I'm impressed with it, to be honest. It's simple, but you have to think. You know, the overall presentation is pretty solid. You know, for turning it around as quickly as they did, I think they did a really, really good job. Now, we're still testing, we're still tweaking, we're still finding bugs here and there, but it is close and it is polished for the quick turnaround, and it's going to make people think, and it's going to be enjoyable. Now, remember, as this game mode progresses, more and more things are going to be added to it to make it more challenging, more fun, so it doesn't get stale and stagnant. But they have to allow people to get used to this game mode, how it's going to function. Some people never played Star Wars. Some people never played a Hero Collector. This is their first one. They need to have the opportunity to get their feet wet and see how it goes. And is there going to be bugs when it launches? Yes. There's 15 of us testing it, plus the devs, 25 maybe in total. We're not going to catch everything. But they've listened to some feedback. They've said no on certain things. Like we said right out of the gate, we're like, no, you can't have teams on offense and defense. But now that I've played it more and more, it makes sense. So if you have questions on this game mode, leave them down in the comments down below, and I'll answer you as soon as I can. Now, again, everything's subject to change. This could get tweaked and tore down. We still have a little bit of time before this rolls out. And like I said, Bones and myself are going to try to live stream one of these. He's going to be on Twitch. I'm going to be on YouTube. And you can come in and you can see the whole process and we can have fun with it. So this is going to be awesome for streaming. So selfishly, I can't wait to stream with everybody and have some fun while we do it. But that's what I got for everybody today. Just a sneak peek at the new Battlegrounds and what you can expect. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about this. You should be excited. It is going to bring a lot of fun and entertainment to Battlegrounds, to Dragon Champions. So that's what I got for everybody. If you're just finding me for the first time, click that subscribe button. Click the like button. Helps me out and makes my videos more visible so we can grow the XMG family. I love you all out there. I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.